Hey everybody, welcome back to Therapists Unmasked. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Sam, and today we're going to be having a little check-in and also discussing how imposter syndrome has affected us.
We hope you enjoy the episode, and let's roll the intro. Hey Sammy.
Hey.
We're in the hot seat today, man.
I know.
No guest today.
No, it's the first time since our first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
It's interesting.
Right?
It's weird.
It is weird.
Because normally
I don't look at you half the
I
time
don't look at
anyway,
you.
and it's like, it's weird. Well, today we are going to start with a check-in because I don't think we've talked about anything that's been going on with us lately, obviously because we've been giving our undivided attention to our guests.
Yeah, it's been an interesting couple of weeks.
Yeah, seriously.
For me, it's been an interesting week in general, so yeah, but
Let's jump into it.
Yeah,
then.
let's start with you.
Start with me.
Yeah, let's start with you.
All right. Sam, honestly, I feel disposable to people.
Disposable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like people can just take advantage of me, of my love, my kindness, and then just drop me like I'm nothing. So I've been dealing with that in therapy of my own in the last few weeks. Okay. I am a negative Nancy. I tend to really think negatively about things. So, like, I ruminate a lot. And I'm also a big ball of anxiety. So I'm also like, I suck. Or like, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me.
You think there's something wrong with you. There's not actually something wrong with you. You think there's something wrong with you.
See, look at you using your therapy skills on me. I mean, you're not wrong though, because actually my therapist said that too. Like, you think something's wrong with you, but there's actually not something wrong with you. I always think things like, there's something wrong with me to where people just like to take advantage of me and then just drop me like I'm nothing, right? What did I do wrong? Did I say something wrong? I'm always thinking of those things. Like, why can't people appreciate other good people around them?
No, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and my problem is that I see good in people all the time. Mm-hmm. I hate it. I hate it because it bites me in my ass, and people just leave. Mm-hmm. I feel like because of that, my wall is up, man. I got out of my long-term relationship back in January, right?
Yeah, I remember this.
And since then, I feel like it's been a common pattern that people just leave since then. So then it makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong or there's something wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks. It's a shitty feeling because I feel like this is a common pattern, so something is wrong with me. I just feel low. I feel I'm thinking so negative of myself, like I'm always doing something wrong, like I can't maintain certain relationships or anything like that because I suck, Samantha.
I don't think you suck. But the way that you feel is how I felt a year or two ago. Well, about a year ago. Yeah, I was almost in the same scenario as you in the sense of feeling disposable, feeling as if people use me for a lot. And it actually wasn't until my best friend told me, two of my best friends actually, they came up to me and they were just like, you need to stop. And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, you need to stop in the sense of checking in on people that don't check in on you. And I was like, what do you mean? I don't think I do that. And they're like, you do that all the time. I'm like,
I have that problem too.
Yeah. I have started to learn how to build that boundary. And so maybe what it is that you need to do is learn how to build a boundary in that sense of not letting people in so easily, because you are a good person and you have a kind heart. You have a huge heart. Just like me, and I should be listening to my own advice. Just like me, you're the type of person who gives and gives and gives, and you don't expect anything in return. However, it would be nice to have something in return.
Yeah.
Even though we don't expect it, we don't do anything to make others think, oh, I want it back in return. We just do it out of the kindness of our heart. And so checking in on people, giving people our undivided attention, it takes a toll on us mentally and physically. And the second they don't need us anymore, it's like, hey, where are you guys? Oh, we're doing something else. Well, why wasn't I invited? Oh, well.
I think that when I meet people, I live for long conversations, long, meaningful conversations. So, like, it's like things like that that get me so excited about the person, right? And then they also say things like, oh, like, I'm not like the other people that have hurt you in the past. I'm not like that. And I'll be like, ah, yeah, okay. But then they'll be like, no, like, you need to trust me. I'm not like that. And then eventually they just switch up on me, and then they end up being like the people that have hurt me in the past. It sucks.
What do you think of manifestation?
It's real.
Manifestation, yeah, I do think is real, in the sense that what we put out, we get back. And so, but if you're putting out these feelings of feeling disposable, feeling lousy, feeling just not there, then you're going to attract those types of people who are going to make you feel the way that you feel, and even times 10. Like, you don't need that in your life. And I've told you this multiple times.
No, you're not wrong. And you want to know what my therapist said to me? I was so insulted. I knew exactly what she was trying to say in the nicest way possible. She was like, do you have a type? And then I was like, hey, listen, like, I feel attacked now, because she was basically saying, I have a type because these people keep coming, like, these same exact people keep coming into my life just to hurt me again. I'm like, listen, they come to me, okay? Like, I don't.
But you attract them without doing, like, your energy, your vibes, like, it attracts them without you actually doing anything.
I know.
Like, they show up in your life, and you're just like, you're knowing you, the type of person you are, you're just constantly welcoming people in. It can be great, but it could also be your biggest downfall, because you don't know who it is that you're attracting in. And honestly, I know that if my parents were to watch this video, they're going to be looking at me and saying, what is it that you're saying? You need to also follow this, because I do the same thing. And I would like to say I'm learning a little more in that sense of listening and observing, because I'm not, like, I will observe, but I'm not a huge observer. I'm more into, like you said, meaningful conversations, getting to know somebody and making sure that they're the right fit in my life. But I also, they're the people that are the sweet talkers that can talk and talk and talk, and you never really know what they're actually there for.
Yeah.
It could be because there are a lot of people out there who could be jealous of you. There are a lot of people out there who could just try and manipulate you because they know that you're a good person. And at the end of the day, you're going to be the one that's heartbroken and feeling disposable.
Yeah. Sometimes it's so tempting. Like, when you're that frustrated, it's so tempting to just be like, all right, I'm going to give the cold shoulder to anybody that tries to get into my life. Because it's like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to keep dealing with the disappointment of people saying, oh, I'm not like this, and then end up being that way.
Like I said, I have felt the same way you felt. And if it's with a specific friend, or if it's with specific people in general, I've started to have conversations with them where I say, listen, I need to talk to you about something. And I'm not accusing them in any way. It's just feelings that I feel, and how the observations I have made about our friendship, our relationship in general, that has impacted me. And, I don't want to keep you in the dark. And so,
I'm like that too, actually. Just recently, I actually did that to somebody. Like, if there was something that I didn't like about them, or like something that I felt like I needed to call them out on. Like, again, them saying that they're a certain way, but then their actions are showing something completely different. When I call it out, they ghost me.
Really?
They don't talk to me after that.
So here's the thing. I feel like I found my group of people within my friend group, because I have to say we have a really good a form of communication. Every time, like, I say, hey, I need to talk to you about something, we talk. I've learned that the people I used to have, I felt anxiety to even bring up that conversation, because I kept feeling like if I brought up that conversation, they're going to dip.
Oh my God.
And that was just like me being a ball of anxiety, because I've learned you shouldn't have to have that fear.
Yes.
You shouldn't have to have that feeling that they're going to leave the second you're upset with them. And if you do have that feeling, obviously those aren't the people for you. It takes time to know who exactly is in your life for specific reasons. But I feel in your case, it's still something that you're learning. I mean, we're both learning, but you're still learning how to manage those relationships. Because it's funny, because this happened to me last year when I was 26. Now I'm a year older than you. I'm 27, and now you're 26 going through it.
Yeah, you're a viejita. But anyway.
You're so nice to me. It's great. It kind of sucks to say this, but it does come with age.
Yeah.
My parents love to say this phrase. I'm going to say it in Spanish, and then I'm going to say it in English. And it's, el diablo sabe más que viejo que por diablo. And it says the devil knows more by being older than by being the devil. And essentially what it means is, as you get older, you're going to come through experiences. You're going to learn from those experiences and continue your way of life based on those experiences.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming to my TED Talk about that.
Yeah,
I was really, it was so frustrating, but I'll get over it. Eventually, I'll be okay. I'll accept that there's people like that, and I shouldn't have to go out my way to chase these people and try to keep them in my life, because there's no point, especially if they're not willing to have these conversations that, like, you know, when I'm trying to call them out and stuff. I'm not doing it anymore. I can't. I'm so frustrated with it. I don't deserve it.
No, you don't. No one does.
Speaking of manifestation, though, I feel like manifestation is super real, because one last thing that I'm going to touch up on my check-in is just the fact that I was going to go to the school that we went to, and I did.
That's great.
I always said that since I was young. Some of my friends and my family, they're like, wow, it's crazy that you always said that since you were like 9-10 years old, and then you finally got to that point. I also then manifested saying that I was going to get a job at the school that we went to, and I got the job.
Yeah, I know. Congratulations.
Manifestation is so real. What you put out into the world, as long as you work hard for it, you can get there.
Yeah.
That's what I've realized. And I'm so, so, so grateful. And honestly, Sam, so like, I feel like a lot of doors have been closed in my face in the last year. Since my mom's passing, life has been so shitty. And a lot of doors have been closing on me. So many people have left my life. And that also goes with what I was saying about feeling disposable. But I feel like right now, good things are slowly coming my way. Doors are slowly starting to open up for me again. So I think that, you know, God is really eliminating all that negativity out of my life to then for me to start a new chapter.
Yeah.
And it feels really good.
And that's great. That's all we want, honestly. Your hard work, the things that you care about are coming together and they're making your life better.
Absolutely. And I'm super, super happy about it.
That's
now,
great.
How are you, Sammy?
Ooh, now I'm in the hot seat. I'm pretty good, actually. I don't really have much. I'm grateful that I don't have a lot going on, in the sense of me being mentally drained or physically drained. I feel like this year I've actually been able to work on my physical health, in the sense
That's
that
awesome.
I have always said I want to go more to the gym. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like we all say in the beginning of the year, but I've actually been able to do it, and I've found the places that I've wanted to go, and I've stuck to it, and that's great. Something I've been saying for like over 20 years. um, it's kind of funny, but yeah, no, that's been going good. Mentally, I'm doing a little better. However, when things still go awry, my anxiety still acts up. And so my anxiety looks more in the sense of overthinking, and overthinking bad.
What does the overthinking look like?
The overthinking is more in the sense of me seeing like a visual story in my head of playing out scenarios and multiple scenarios. But like, even if I don't know how that person might react, I still come up with those scenarios, and I give myself that anxiety. I'm a huge overthinker. If something goes wrong, I'm already thinking, oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. However, I still don't know how that person's reaction is going to be. And a majority of the time, it's nothing what I think about. And I know that. However, still, I need to learn more on how to actually calm myself down and how to get myself out of my head. Even though, I know it. I know that I get in my head, and I know exactly what it is. But, for instance, this past week I had a really interesting event come up at work, and it bugged me the whole week, and my anxiety was acting up. And actually, till today, my anxiety is still a mess. I still feel like my chest is hurting. The lasting effects of my anxiety is horrendous, because even though the event passed, the anxiety could stick with me for another week. And it's because I put myself in that stressful situation of constantly thinking of it over and over and over again, to the point that I'm making myself physically sick. And it sucks. It's so bad.
So what do you do to get out of that anxiety?
There's a few things. I like to go on a walk sometimes. I am a sucker for the beach. So I will, in my hometown, there's like a boardwalk. So I will walk down the boardwalk, take some time for myself, sit down, contemplate like my decisions, my choices. If I can't do that, then I'll sit at home and I'll just lay in bed and listen to music. If I need to cry, I'll cry. Like, even though it's not a scenario where I need to cry, I'll still like let it out, because there's nothing wrong with a good cry. Sometimes that even helps, just to express it, let it all out, and continue with my day. The thing that I've seen that also helps is getting ice cream.
Are you serious?
I am a sucker for ice cream, okay? I will get ice cream. There's a picture that my friend took of me when I think it was, 4 or 5 years ago. It was -1. It was winter, cold, brick
and you
outside,
still got ice cream.
And there's a picture
Samantha.
of me licking an ice cream cone, and he said, this girl really got ice cream in -1 weather.
You really, really like ice cream, huh?
I do. It's a family thing. Everybody in my family, on my dad's side of the family, loves ice cream.
That's so funny.
It's hysterical, but I love it because, that's where I get it from. It's great.
It sounds like ice cream gives you a lot of comfort.
It does. It does.
That's awesome.
I never thought of it as comfort. Now that you say it, but now that you say it, it makes sense, because ice cream to me always has so many happy memories. Happy memories in the sense of being with my family or being with my friends and just talking and bonding. And it's just the act of going out saying, hey, you want to get some ice cream, that can make the day so much better.
Sammy, I think this is a really important thing to talk about. Let's be for real, Samantha. you know how to really evaluate your anxiety. We're therapists. Mm-hmm. You know exactly how it should be done. Mm-hmm. Doing a little bit of CBT and examining your thoughts on whether, like, what is the worst case scenario, like, what supports this thought, what goes against that thought. We would never actually really sit down and really do that, though. I know that you overthink.
Yes.
And I'm like, Samantha, like, it's fine. You're going to be fine. The reality is that sometimes we don't practice what we preach to our clients, right?
Yes. It sucks.
It does suck.
And I think that mostly has to do with the fact that when we're in those situations, we find ourselves alone. We get into our head saying, we're alone, we're alone, we're alone. And there's no one really there to help us get out of it. You know, sometimes it's not as bad and sometimes we'll call other people. But then other times it's like we don't want to bother anybody.
Yeah.
We don't want to have to bother other people with our issues. We don't have to we don't want to be that burden to another person, even though other people find it okay for them to be our burden and to dump on us. We would much rather be quiet and to ourselves than to actually open our mouths and say something else. And I think that also goes with our anxiety attacks and basically being like, okay, maybe if I just sit here and ponder, it'll go away.
Yeah. See, but again, that thought of like, I'm alone, that you can easily evaluate and be like, am I really alone though? But we don't do it. If one of our clients was sitting here right now, we would be encouraging that right now.
Yeah, being like, you're not alone. Look at
or like
your support
what makes
system.
You, yeah, and like what makes you think you're alone? What supports that thought, right?
Yeah.
But we don't do it.
We don't. We're very bad at it. For instance, I know that I need to practice not being afraid to ask for that help. And if I feel that type of way, go and find my mom, my dad, or my brothers and have, like, I don't know.
I think that's interesting because you reach out to me when you're feeling that way.
I do too. Yeah, no, I reach out to you. I think my thing is, like, I reach out to the people I know are going to answer. For instance, my mom, she's at home. So I know she's always home. And she gives me a hug if she sees something's wrong. But she's also the type of person that will actually, like you, talk some sense into me. Try and talk some sense into me. However, she's my mom.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like, yeah, it's my mom.
Yeah.
I don't really...
Yeah.
She gives me advice, and at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but I don't know, I'm stubborn. I need to hear it multiple times.
No, of course.
And so I do reach out to you. I reach out to my other friend because I know you guys are the people who are the most likely to answer.
So then why do you struggle to ask, or how do you struggle to ask for help if you reach out? You do reach out to people. I
struggle to ask for help because I don't think I actually, even though I reach out, the process of me to reach out is the struggle. Because I could have been dealing with this for hours or maybe even days before I reach out to you. So it's the pondering.
I gotcha.
It's the constant thinking about everything and being like, okay, like this and this and this. Like, what are the next steps? Like, and then after the anxiety, it's the overthinking. And then after the overthinking, it's doubting oneself. At least in my scenario. It's the constant doubt, the constant second thinking and being like, should I do this? Should I not? And then I have that quick burst of like, I'm going to do it. And then it's like, maybe that's not the best decision. And then even then, when I ask for help or ask for advice, you know, I get different answers. And it's never, obviously people have different opinions, so it's never the same. It's never the same answer. So that even continues the doubt and the overthinking, and it's a never-ending cycle at the end of the day until I actually am put in the situation that I wanted to avoid. And then it goes completely different than what I thought about it, and things are fine.
Happens every time.
It happens every time. it's just that anxiety, you know.
So with your anxiety, what do you think you should work on more?
Just learning to control myself, my thoughts, not let them run awry as much as they do, because that is what starts the roller coaster.
And you know the tools, Sammy.
I do know the tools.
You just got to actually do it.
Yeah, I know. The thing that sucks though is that when you're practicing the tools, when you're practicing all of these skills, you're practicing them with other people. And the truth is that when you're by yourself and it happens, there's no one there to actually help you through the skill.
And give you the reminder to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I need to learn. I need to learn how to practice the skills on my own. But here's the thing. I hate yoga. I hate meditation. I am not that type of person. I would much rather go to a boxing class. Or go to a cycling class. Like I love Soul Cycle, so I will go to a Soul Cycle class. And those are the types of classes that have instructors that will, for instance, in Soul Cycle, they'll say, get your mind, like stop thinking about anything that you're thinking about the outside wall and the outside, because in this room you're here for 45 minutes and just think about pedaling to the music, to the rhythm, to the choreography, and the outside world will still be there when you're done.
Yeah.
So that helps me get out of my head. But at the end of the day, it's also somebody helping me by reminding me that I need to get out of my head for 45 minutes.
Right. So with that being said, then you have to learn how to be your own instructor, Sammy.
Yeah. No, it's true.
With this work event happening and your anxiety is still through the roof, am I right? What's next? What do you plan to do to help decrease your anxiety?
I think one of the things is just not be so much on the go, because even though I know it's done.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Sam, that work event, like, that happened, it's done.
Yeah, no, it's done. That's the thing, but this is the physical aftermath of that, where my heart keeps beating out of my chest and my chest hurts a lot. So I think it's just the high coming down
Gotcha.
of those events that escalated so much. And so I think I just need to relax, not be on the go so much, because that's essentially what I do. I'm on the go a lot. I don't have time to actually rest. And so it's just constantly doing one thing after another and not taking a break, where it actually like catches up with me.
I wonder if you're still thinking about it a lot too, like about the situation.
Yeah, I think the situation that happened could have panned out differently. It could have played out differently, I'm sorry. And it also could have ended differently. It didn't have the outcome that I wanted it to. At the end of the day, things are still well. They're okay. They're fine. But I expected another scenario to occur, and it didn't. And that's kind of what, like, I'm still pondering on.
You need to start focusing on the fact that it went well, though. Even if it didn't go the way you expected it to, at the end of the day, it still went well because you were thinking of all the worst case scenarios.
Yes,
and you were freaking out about it. Right? But it went well. You got through it.
Yeah.
Right? And you're still fine. You're here. You're working at your job. You're seeing all your clients. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things that you need to focus on. Like, you didn't lose your job. You're still working. You're seeing your clients.
Yeah.
What's the stress? What's, like...
It's just, like I said, it's the high coming down that I'm still kind of up here, and I'm slowly decreasing, and I think by the end of the week I'll be fine.
Okay.
But it's just the lingering feelings.
Yeah. So when these situations happen, do you start questioning yourself? Like, am I really meant for
Yes,
this?
100%.
Like the imposter syndrome.
Yes. Oh my goodness. The imposter syndrome, it stinks. It's so bad. As a mental health counselor, we have so many specialties. We have marriage, family, children, trauma, school. There's so many things we could be doing. I have my doubts. I have my doubts about whether or not I'm fit for this career. And then when I think about whether or not I'm fit for this career, I think about all the time and all the money that went into this career, and now I'm stuck in it, and it's like, am I really meant for this? Just that overthinking starts again. And so the imposter syndrome for me, that's the only thing I try to, like, I'm actually really good at talking myself out of the imposter syndrome, because I actually am able to physically see the results. Because when I'm actually able to physically see a change, that's when I feel better. Because it's not just somebody else telling me that there's a change. I'm able to actually see it with my own eyes, and it's physically in front of me. Like, for instance, what Fernanda was talking about with the data. Actually able to see the data, and then actually able to see a client graduate from TSCBT and seeing how much better their life got after they started with me. And those are the things that are able to actually, like, bring me back down and calm me down instantly.
I'm still trying to figure out how to manage the imposter syndrome from myself, because I talked about this in the first episode. Imposter syndrome comes up for me the most at work because of my disability. I'm like, am I really meant to be here? Because there's so many other therapists that I work with that, like, have been in the field for X amount of years, and they have all this expertise, and then I'm just kind of like, hey, this is like my first real year of being a licensed therapist. Like, oh man. And especially as a disabled woman, then other people are looking at me a certain way, which is honestly kind of triggering, because I was bullied back in high school and everything, and people used to look at me a certain way because of my disability, and it was super uncomfortable. So, like, having that now in the working world, it's not fun, and it makes me question, like, am I meant to be doing what I'm doing right now?
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. Your disability... Well, first of all, I don't know if you ever did mention what your disability was.
So I did in the first episode. I did. Yeah, I have spina bifida, which is literally means split spine. So because of that, I have literally a big scar that goes like this to my back, because they had to surgically close this hole that, like, formed when I was born, right? So because of that, I use crutches. So it's weird to, come up to people and be like, hey, I'm a therapist, with and like me coming in with my crutches and everything. I don't know, because then people kind of look at me a certain way, like, are you sure you can do what you're doing? You know what I mean?
So here's the thing about your disability. It doesn't affect your mental capacity. It doesn't affect your observation. It doesn't have anything to do with you mentally. Your mental processing, your thoughts, they're still viable. Like, nothing's wrong with it. It's literally just the way you walk.
I wish people understood that, though, because I know that.
Yeah.
But other people don't,
And even then, you're not the first person to have spina bifida that's a therapist. There's so many people that do so many things. For instance, my old music director, he was the best. I admire him so much. I miss him. He's a great man, and he taught all of us so many things. And he had to get his leg amputated. But that didn't make him any less than. He was still a great music director. I think one of the best our school has had. And, he was still up there.
Right.
And so that didn't affect his judgment in any way. And nor should you having this disability affect your judgment? And I think people need to be a little bit more mindful with that, because what they see is not what they get.
Easier said than done with
Exactly.
people. And that's like, that sucks, you know? I wish people thought more, I don't know, I wish they had more empathy for people like me who has a disability, you know? Because I know that I am more than my disability.
Oh, for sure.
But again, other people don't understand that. And I hate that I have to prove myself to people sometimes, you know? But you know what my problem is, Sam? Like, my problem is that I need to sit back and really think, really evaluate this, right? Like, I've never had a bad experience with a client thus far. Even though I'm bound to eventually, but I've never had one. I've always been able to build rapport, great rapport with my clients, despite my disability, right? So far, my clients have been super happy with me, despite my disability. My bosses have been happy with me. They see potential in me. Previous bosses, everything, right?
You were top of our class.
So, no, but keep going. No, but for real, like I need to do that more, because again, I'm a negative Nancy. I think of the worst thing possible
For yourself.
Yeah.
Because you don't do that with me. Yeah, you literally will.
But that goes back to you saying like I'm alone right now in the present moment when you're going through the thing that you're going through. You feel alone, and then you start ruminating and thinking all the negative thoughts.
Yes. Yeah.
That is when all of that happens for me.
Yeah.
I think negatively.
Yeah. No, we need to start learning to practice what we preach. I mean,
yeah, man.
Like I said, better said than done. But at the end of the day, that also comes with finding a therapist who can help us actually get through what it is that we're getting through. You know, like we said, a doctor can't be their own doctor. They can't diagnose themselves. So as therapists, you know, we also go through so much that we also need a therapist. It is so important, and I can't stress that enough.
All right, so does that mean you're going to start finding a therapist? Like, what are we doing, Sam?
Listen. I've been saying I need to find a therapist.
You're like freaking preaching to the choir right now saying.
No, I know, but the problem is, and it's actually something that Fernanda brought up in the last episode, insurance.
Oh, yes.
Unfortunately, you know, I'm at that age.
Yes, say it. Just say it.
I am 27 and I'm in the process of changing my insurance because when I was 26, I automatically got kicked off my parents' insurance, even though I can make the switch and I'm planning on making the switch to an insurance. Just knowing the fact that my insurance now is just temporary, that's what's holding me back from finding a therapist. Because then I don't know which insurance I'm going to get. Gotcha. And I don't know if that's going to affect me having to look for a new therapist.
Would you look for one now if you had the chance to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I actually have seen therapists in my area that are open and taking my current insurance, but I just don't want to start sessions with them and then get the news that I have to change soon, which I actually think I need to change maybe in like 4 months.
Have you thought about paying out of pocket for a therapist?
That's expensive.
It is expensive, man.
That's so expensive.
I know.
So,
but your mental health is pretty important too.
Yes, it is.
Having a therapist is the best way to deal with imposter syndrome. Seriously.
It is.
I feel like, because the therapist will challenge you on your thoughts. Right? Like my therapist, she challenges me on my thoughts all the time. Because again, I'm a negative Nancy.
CBT.
So, she uses CBT on me all the time. And I'm just like, man, you're right. I know. Like I know that I think this negatively. I know that I should be practicing CBT a little bit more on myself. But obviously it's hard to do it in the moment, right? But yeah, she helps me realize like, hey, despite your disability, you're doing a great job.
Oh yeah, you're thriving.
She's not directly telling me these things, but she's challenging me to think of these things on my own.
But that's also the whole point of CBT.
Exactly.
Challenging your thoughts.
Exactly.
Challenging those thoughts to change that behavior.
Exactly. So this is why it's important for a therapist out there to seek a therapist.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you.
Because sometimes we need our thoughts to be challenged.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of us, behind the scenes, a lot of us are overthinkers. A lot of us are anxious people. A lot of us can be very depressed. I've been pretty vocal about my depression too, you know, like we go through all these things that our clients go through too.
Yeah, on the daily.
Yeah. And so that's why it is important for you, a future therapist out there, to seek a therapist. Because it's important, man. I feel like our mental health matters too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So on that note, I think we've covered a lot.
We have. I wasn't thinking of going that deep into
man.
into all of that.
Into our check-in, man. Yeah, we've just been through a lot in the last few weeks, man.
And life has been interesting the past couple of months.
Yeah.
The past year,
yes.
Life has been interesting. Since we graduated, it's been
a roller coaster
of emotions.
Literally. It's crazy to, like, because since we graduated, my mom passed away. I've lost so many people, so many ups and downs, so many doors closing, and it's been a roller coaster, man.
And since we graduated, I also have lost people in my life.
I remember.
I've also have gone through tough situations that required change. On the flip side, I've also experienced having new people come into my life, having my circle expand, go on new adventures, being able to experience new things. It's been a roller coaster, but I have to say, like, it's been a good one.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. I feel like despite all the bad things happening, I've slowly been able to pick myself up since then. You know, I'm always going to have my days, but I feel like I can pick myself up now more than not, you know? And it took a lot for me to do that, though.
I think because of what has been experienced, we are able to further develop our characteristics. We're able to change who we are, and let's face it, we're not the same people we were when we first started our program 3 years ago. Yep.
And Sammy, I'm proud of you too, especially after all the things that you've been through, and especially all the people that you've lost, because that definitely knocked you down for a bit there. But you genuinely have a good support system. So you should always be reminded of that if you ever think about the people that have left your life, you know, because those are the people that matter the most. Right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Those are the people that you need to focus on more.
No, they've stayed. My friends, y'all, like,
they're awesome.
Well, you're in that group too.
I know.
So, no, I have to say I've been blessed with a really good support system, a really good group of people in my life, friends, family, like,
as do I, man, because
we both have.
Yeah, because I've been knocked down so many times this past year, and to know that I have a good support system that checks up on me, especially you, that checks up on me, and, you know, make sure that I'm good. Like, I'm so grateful. All right, Sammy, let's close out with this, right? What do you want to do more of for your mental health?
For my mental health, I think obviously practice more of the skills that we learned, because they are viable, they are important, and they do help. I've seen the results of other people. It's just me and
actually,
my stubbornness and actually, like, going through with it. And also a little bit of procrastination, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit of procrastination. I'm not usually a procrastinator, that's the thing. But I think with this I am.
I think, okay, so for me, in terms of me with my mental health, what I could do more of, I think I should do more journaling or something of that sort, to where I have something written and then I can like read it out loud and kind of manifest these things, or just like put out more positivity within myself, because again, like I in my head it's all negative. Right? And I need to think more positively, and I just don't do that. My therapist encourages it all the time, like journal or write something, and I'm like, shut up, dude. No, but like I think I truly do think I need to actually start doing it more, because otherwise I don't think I'll ever stop thinking negatively
Yeah.
if I don't.
I think that would help. I think journaling is a good thing. I'm not personally a writer.
Yeah, no, me neither. Me neither. That's why I've been putting it off.
Yeah, but I think journaling is also a good way of physically seeing what it is that you're writing.
These things could also help us with our imposter syndrome too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but journaling definitely. If you're able to, seeing any analytics that may come up of the work that you have, productivity, even though it sucks.
Yeah.
Seeing your productivity going up helps with imposter syndrome. And then also, at the end of the day, getting feedback from your clients, because you're helping them. And if they feel that you are, successfully helping them through their journey, then that's also going to make you feel good.
Yep.
And kind of get you out of your head of that imposter syndrome.
Yep.
And being able to say, yeah, I'm actually making a change.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Demi. That is it for us today.
That is it. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends and family. Watch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Follow us on Instagram, which is Therapist_Unmasked. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.